Welcome to week 4 of college football. What awaits us this week? How about 7 matchups of teams ranked in the Associated Press Top 25 pool? Even last week's slate, with no matchups of teams ranked in the top 25, provided some surprisingly close games. What was projected to be a dull weekend without any matchups of ranked teams turned out to have several nail biters. Kansas State lost at Missouri due to the longest field goal in the history of the Southeastern Conference. Texas was tied at home with Wyoming at the end of the third quarter. Georgia trailed at home 14-3 at halftime to South Carolina. 11th ranked Tennessee went to Florida and limped home after its 10th straight loss in the swamp. Florida State narrowly avoided an upset at Boston College after being outscored 13-0 in the fourth quarter. Alabama used 2 new quarterbacks but still struggled to win by 14 at South Florida. Kentucky opened its season at home with a victory over Ball State. Last week, the Wildcats dominated Akron to improve their record to 3-0. Given those results, does that mean that the Kentucky Wildcats have won the Mid-American Conference? In a battle of the soon-to-be Pacific 2, the 14th ranked Beavers will visit the 21st ranked Cougars. Washington State leads the series 56-48-3. Washington State leads the series in Pullman by 26 wins, 18 losses, and 3 ties. Both teams have won all 3 games so far, but have not yet played a conference game. These programs have faced each other every season since 2003. Last season, the Beavers' victory snapped an 8-game winning streak by the Cougars in this series. The 24th ranked Hawkeyes travel to Happy Valley to face the 7th ranked Nittany Lions. Penn State leads the series 17-14. Iowa has the edge in games played in State College, Pennsylvania, 8-7. These programs will resume playing each other after having met for 6 straight years until last season. Iowa has won the last 2 meetings. Number 9, Notre Dame, will welcome number 6, Ohio State, to South Bend. Ohio State leads the series 5-2. The Buckeyes are returning the visit made by the Irish to Columbus last year. 4 games played in South Bend, the series is tied at 1 apiece. This will be only the Buckeyes' 3rd visit ever to Notre Dame. The last one occurred in 1996. 11th ranked Utah will host 22nd ranked UCLA. UCLA leads the series 12-8. The series is tied at 5 apiece in Salt Lake City. Both enter the game with 3-0 records. This will be the first conference game for both. However, this will be their final meeting as members of the same conference. After this season, UCLA will depart for the Big Ten, and Utah will move to the Big 12. In another matchup of Pacific 12 teams on the verge of leaving for the Big 10 and Big 12 conferences respectively, number 10 Oregon will travel to number 19 Colorado. Oregon leads the all-time series 15-9. Oregon leads the series in Boulder 7-3. Oregon has won 9 of the last 10 meetings with Colorado. Can Coach Prime continue his amazing turnaround in Boulder? Will Uncle Phil see his Ducks take another step closer to his long-awaited and heavily financed goal of a national championship for Oregon? Number 4, Florida State travels to Clemson to face the 25th ranked Tigers. Florida State leads the overall series 20 games to 15. The Tigers lead the series in Clemson 9 games to 8. Clemson has won the last 7 meetings with the Seminoles. Both teams have something to prove. Clemson wants to atone for its drubbing by 21 points at the hands of Duke in the season opener. Florida State wants to show that its 2-point escape from Boston College last week was just a fluke due to a highly emotional and overachieving opponent. After number 15 Ole Miss completed its victory tour over former members of the Southeastern Conference, the Rebels head to Tuscaloosa. Alabama leads the series 58 wins, 10 losses, and 2 ties. For games played in Tuscaloosa, Alabama leads 27 games to 1. Alabama has won the last 6 meetings. Number 13, Alabama is trying to avoid its first season with 2 losses in September since 2007. That was Nick Saban's first season at Alabama. Let's take a look at Arkansas's upcoming schedule. Next Saturday, the Razorbacks will travel to LSU. The following week, Arkansas will face Texas A&M in Jerry World. Following that, the Razorbacks will travel to Ole Miss and then to Alabama. That is right. For the next 4 games in the span of 4 weeks, Arkansas will not play a game in its home stadium. A question for anyone who can answer it. Why does the scheduler for the Southeastern Conference hate the Razorbacks so much? That is all for this week. With several matchups of ranked teams, we will see the beginning of a separation of the pretenders from the contenders for conference championships and berths in the college football playoff. Check back next week for your shot of insight on college football with a heavy chaser of snark.